History is full of strange stories, right? But have you ever heard of battles so weird they're like something out of a Mr. Bean sketch? We're talking face palms, head scratching, and you've got to be kidding me, moments. These aren't your typical sword fights and clever plans. These are the weirdest battles ever. We're diving into the wacky, the unbelievable, and the downright bizarre. From armies fighting themselves to snowball fights in the trenches, get ready to say, what were they thinking? Stick around because the last one is a real shocker. Let's do this. First up, 1788, a year marked by an unusual and tragic event in military history. The Austrian army is ready to fight the Ottoman Empire. They are well prepared with their formations set and strategies in place. But before the Ottomans even arrive, the Austrians decide to have a little pre-battle party with lots of drinks. The soldiers are in high spirits, celebrating and toasting to their anticipated victory. Suddenly, rumors spread about enemy soldiers being nearby, and everyone gets paranoid. The once jubilant atmosphere turns tense as whispers of an imminent attack circulate through the camp. What starts as a drunken misunderstanding turns into a massive fight within the Austrian army itself. Confusion reigns as soldiers, unable to distinguish friend from foe in their inebriated state, begin attacking each other. By morning, the battlefield is full of Austrian casualties, and there isn't a single Ottoman in sight. The aftermath is devastating. With countless lives lost due to a tragic error, the Ottomans show up a day late and easily take over, leaving the Austrians to explain how they lost a battle before it even began. Awkward. The Austrian commanders are left to face the embarrassing reality of their self-inflicted defeat. Fast forward to the freezing trenches of World War I, where soldiers from both sides were enduring unimaginable hardships. The cold was biting. The mud was relentless, and the constant threat of enemy fire loomed over them. Life in the trenches was, shall we say, a bit grim. The soldiers faced not only the enemy, but also the harsh elements and the psychological toll of war. But in December 1915, something extraordinary happened between the French and German trenches. Amidst the bleakness, a moment of unexpected joy emerged. Picture this: snow falling gently, blanketing everything in a pristine layer of white. The battlefield, usually a scene of chaos and destruction, was transformed into a winter wonderland. Then, from the German trenches, a snowball flies through the air and lands near the French lines. It was an unexpected gesture, breaking the monotony of war. Instead of firing guns, the French soldiers start laughing and throw snowballs back. What began as a single snowball quickly escalated into a full-blown snowball fight. This little snowball fight turned into a massive winter brawl, with thousands of soldiers participating in a giant, unofficial ceasefire. The air was filled with laughter and the joy of a momentary escape from the horrors of war. For a few precious hours, everyone forgot about the war, and the sound of laughter echoed across the snow-covered battlefield. It was a rare moment of humanity and camaraderie amidst the devastation of World War I. Chapter 3. The Siege of Cowes, when dinner became the enemy. This chapter delves into one of the most bizarre and unexpected events in military history. During a war between England and Spain, tensions were high and resources were scarce. Some Spanish soldiers found themselves trapped in a Dutch fort with no food. Their brilliant plan: steal all the cows from the local Dutch farmers. They believed this would solve their food crisis. What happens next is pure chaos. Soldiers fighting farmers, clashing in a desperate struggle for survival. Hundreds of cows mooing and running everywhere. Imagine Spanish soldiers with swords chasing cows through fields and villages, while Dutch farmers throw anything they can find at them. Pots, pans, and even pitchforks became weapons. The Siege of Cowes is a legendary story that has been passed down through generations. It shows how even serious wars can have moments of utter ridiculousness and absurdity. It reminds us that sometimes, in the midst of conflict, real life is weirder than a cartoon. The Siege of Cowes remains a testament to the unpredictable nature of history. Chapter 4. The Battle of the Golden Spurs, fighting for fashion and freedom. In 1302, fancy French knights in their shiny armor fought Flemish rebels who wanted freedom and some seriously stylish shoes. Golden spurs were like a Rolex back then, a way to show off. The Flemish rebels saw those golden spurs as a symbol of being bossed around. When the fighting stopped, the Flemish rebels had won. They celebrated by taking the golden spurs from the defeated knights and showing them off like trophies. Chapter 5. The Battle of Saltville. Don't forget to pass the salt and ammo. We're talking about the American Civil War, where salt was super important. In the 1860s, you needed salt to keep food from going bad, especially for armies. The Confederacy was running out of salt. Saltville, Virginia had a huge salt factory that supplied the Confederate Army. The Union Army wanted to capture Saltville and stop the Confederacy from getting salt. The Battle of Saltville shows how even ordinary things can become really important during wartime. From armies fighting themselves to snowball fights and battles over salt, history is full of surprises. Which of these bizarre battles shocked you the most? Tell us in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more crazy history stories. History has never been so much fun. Join us every week for the top 5 stories you won't believe. See you next time.